All right, welcome to Twitch chat, YouTube. This is Wednesday Night Vintage. This is your weekly Wednesday Night Vintage free. Well, it's free today. Next month it won't be free again. But I mean, $6.50 for 4 vintage events. Plus, if you wanted to play set roulette or modern, there's tons of other stuff too. So go visit your local Mythic Society on Magic the Gathering Online and come play Wednesday Night Vintage with me. I'm not even paid for that. That's not even an ad. That's just me trying to get you to come play Vintage with me. Jeez. So what we've got today is a Matt Murray deck. I know, YouTube's favorite. A concoction that only Matt Murray could win with. SuspendStill. I'm not checked in. All right, well, now I'm checked in. Sorry about that. All right, good. SuspendStill, yes. So we are playing every boomer's favorite standstill, but also with new card Suspend. Reads, exile target creature, put 2 time counters on it. If it didn't have Suspend before, well, now it does. It's coming back in 2 turns.
Announcement received.
Thank you, MPG Melee. But you gotta cast it when it comes back. And you're casting it for free, so it's countered by Lavinia. And you can't cast it if there's a Teferi in play. Boom! You have created better timeshares.
Received.
Swords to timeshares? I don't. Stop. Why are you not muted? I don't understand. I don't know. Swords to timeshares. That's what we're doing. What else do we have in here? You got strip mines and stuff. Ooh, even a Field of Ruin. Very nice. We've got Savine's Reclamation. Big fan. Like that card. We even got a Dress Down. Creatures lose all abilities. Oh, and some Timeless Dragons. Never forget the Timeless Dragons. Is Time Walk bad? I don't know. Matt Murray made the deck. Ask Matt Murray. I take no credit for anything that happened here. I even probably made the deck worse with whatever changes I made. So Timeless Dragon is a plane cycling eternalizer, so you can plane cycle while you are underneath a standstill and then eternalize your big daddy dragon. Yeah, I don't know. That's about as far as I've got. I just looked at the list right now with everyone else here, so we're gonna do our best. We gotta play a control deck. Control deck, Justin. We'll figure it out, I'm sure. I mean, why do you need Time Walk? Time Walk is a bad card. It breaks standstill. Terrible Magic card. All right, let's just play Magic and see what. Oh, we got Jund. We can play against Jund. We can do a thing or two against Jund. I think. I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm excited. It looks like it'll be a blast, and if we play against a bunch of creature decks, then maybe we have a shot. All right, chat, we're already in round 1. We're playing against Patrick again. Patrick's on his Jund Luris deck. Very cool one from... We played this a couple times now, I believe, if I'm correct. Yeah, just, Jund things that don't cost more than 2. And of course, we are still experimenting with Modern Horizons 2 cards. This one looks fine. Let's try it. I guess it's not the greatest standstill opponent. If my opponent plays a Deathrite Shaman, it would be kind of bad to standstill, right? But, God, they got a strip mine off of that. Okay, noted. But we do have a bunch of suspends, so, you know... Jokes on our opponent. Let's just... I don't know about this probe, because we don't have another blue card, but I kind of want to see what they're doing before I decide whether we're wastelanding them or not. They did search for a land off this harvest. Yeah, so their hand has no other land. Why do they keep keeping hands like this? Strip Mine, Soul Guide Lantern, Assassin's Trophy, Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy, Pyroblast. That is a classic Jund hand if I've ever seen one. I feel like this happened recently on our last League stream where we played against Jund and they kept like Taiga Abundant Harvest and hit Strip Mine or hit Wasteland off of their Abundant Harvest. I mean, they still get to go Strip Mine, Soul Guide Lantern, and then they can cycle the Soul Guide Lantern later. I'm not gonna do anything about this Soul Guide Lantern. I would like to play fetch land into standstill if possible. That would be ideal. All right, we have a suspend, so if they do draw a Deathrite Shaman this turn, we can suspend it and then have it break the standstill for us, because this is not a May. They did top deck a Bayou, which is not ideal, but we have a fetch land, so we do not get strip mined. And now we're gonna deploy the Standstill. I think I'm just gonna play a bunch of Tundras. All right, I have a Standstill. We have successfully traveled back in time to a Boomer Magic error, where this was a good card. I said error, but I mean, I guess it's not that far off. It's kind of an error. Yeah, Matt's got all kinds of sweet synergy built into this deck. Sure thing. All right, so I assume this is going to get cracked. And then see what my opponent chooses to do. If they choose to stay underneath the Standstill, we are very much favored with all the lands we have in hand. Timeless Dragons, you know? But they did top deck another land, so they can cast spells. Oh, they're just gonna break it. All right, so Dark Confidant's coming in here. We draw 3 cards. Unfortunately, no Force of Will. And no second Standstill. So this Dark Confidant just resolves. And my opponent does have an active Pyroblast right now. I can just Savine's Reclamation back a Standstill, but there's a Bob in play. So we first want to suspend the Bob, and then we can do that. So let's see. If I suspend Bob on this turn, but we have to think about this, chat, because we don't want to wasteland. I guess we don't think we want to wasteland because maybe we do want to wasteland their I don't know if I want to wasteland their Strip Mine. That doesn't actually sound as good as wastelanding. I don't know. The problem is if I do wasteland the Bayou, it is kind of bad for us because we won't be able to. Okay, I want to suspend this now, but it's going to tick down to 1. And then it will cast on the next turn, but we won't be able to Reclamation back Standstill in time. No, there's 4 swords to timeshares, not 4 swords to plowshares. I wonder if I'm better off just going Tundra, Lavinia, just like get my Lavinia countered by Pyroblast and then suspend. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think this Lavinia will eat a Pyroblast. It did not even eat the Pyroblast. Let's see. That's kind of problematic. I guess I can just suspend now and get this thing Pyroblasted. I'm going down to 7 cards anyways, right? I need to go down to 7 cards anyways, so I might as well. So it just does give them a Dark Confidant trigger. But next turn, if they don't wasteland us, we can go suspend and Savine's Reclamation a Standstill. Maybe they'll Pyroblast the Lavinia now. I don't know. No, they're going to Pyroblast suspend. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't really have any control over their Pyroblast at the moment, so. All right, they drew a Force of Vigor, which is great. They took 4 damage, and we don't give a shit about it. So they do have a pile of trophies and decays, but that's okay. If they want to spend their time killing the Lavinia, that's not a big deal. All right, they drew a Wasteland. That's a huge problem. Because now they're going to keep us all... All right, they put the Luris in their hand. Interesting. All right, well... So what we're going to do is we're going to suspend Dark Confidant and wasteland one of their lands, I think. We also have this Brainstorm, which is kind of nice. We could just Reclamation the Standstill right now. I just currently don't have a way to actually kill this Luris, because they can kill this Lavinia at any point due to, you know, uncounterable decay, unless we wasteland their Bayou. But the problem is, if I wasteland their Bayou and suspend their Dark Confidant, maybe that is going to be good enough. Yo, what's up, Log? You'll appreciate this chubby pile. All right, so my opponent really does need to draw a land on this turn. If they whiff on a land this turn, we're actually in great spot because they can't kill this Lavinia, which means that the Dark Confidant will get countered. Even if they wasteland us, that would be the case. They fucking drew a land. Okay. So now I assume we're going to get uncounterable Decayed on our Lavinia. But the nice thing we can do... Oh, we're not? Or they're going to do it later. Well, if they're not going to wasteland us, the thing we can do is Reclamation back a Standstill. No, they're going to do everything. Yeah, I'm gonna be missing the next showcase. I have a wedding to attend. I'm actually like very unsure about a lot of my upcoming Saturdays, which is why I need to figure out a maybe different time to do some streaming. All right, well, I'm gonna cast this. Fuck. I'm gonna cast this Brainstorm. I'm only gonna be able to get rid of one card. Man. It's not good for a home team. So now they're going to get this Bob back despite our best efforts just because they kept killing all of our stuff. Because I just... If it wasn't Decay, if it was one of the 4 trophies and not one of the 2 Decays, we could definitely be fine here. But the problem is it's Decay. Yeah, it sucks because if they hadn't drawn the second Wasteland, we could Savine's Reclamation back, Standstill, and draw 3 cards off of their Bob, even though they killed our Lavinia. Yeah, it's not good. But at least they don't get a trigger this turn. I mean, eventually I do have a Supreme Verdict in my deck as well. They are only at 10 life, so... A nice thing is if they draw a Mox for turn and try to play Lavinia, or... if they try to play a Mox Luris, then we could trap, which is sweet. I mean, we could play the racing game where we see if their Bar Confidant will kill them. If we put a Standstill in play. You drew a Demonic Tutor. Alright, I will just fluster this. Their hand is Luris, Trophy, Vigor. And an unknown. Oh, I don't even have any more Tundras, huh? Interesting. Strip Mine. Alright, I think it's correct to just deploy another Standstill, even though there's a Dark Confidant in play. Could that be true? I guess I could also, like, get back a Wasteland off this Reclamation, and that will probably keep them from Luris. Maybe that's better. I don't know. That might not actually be better. With the Dark Confidant in play. Alright, they hit a Wrenn in 6. That one we have covered. So if we strip mine them again, then we truly are just racing this Dark Confidant. But the problem with strip mining again is I really want to flash back this Reclamation. So I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to just hold on to my land so I can go Reclamation, get back Lavinia, and Standstill. Oh, they drew a Ruby. That's kind of annoying. But it also builds up to trap, so there's some plus sides. Yep. Alright, I think I'm just going to hard cast Negation on this. I don't think I want to counter the Ruby. I could have, though. Alright, so here we're going to do the flashback Reclamation, or are we just going to cruise? I think we're just going to cruise, actually. Want to leave a wasteland, a tundra, Lavinia, standstill, and suspends, I guess. Okay. I think I still need to be able to flashbacks reclamation, so I don't think I'm supposed to strip mine. So I have some options too. What I could do, I could strip mine, and then at the end of my and at my end step, I could dress down, and then they won't draw a card. Like strip mine, like just use my strip mine for mana and just play dress down, and I still have a bunch of counter spells up. Or maybe even use the planes and see what I draw. This is the beginning of the next end. Beginning of the end step. So if I go to the end step, this should last, right? Until his end step. I think. I don't know. Let's find out together, chat. They could also vigor it, I guess. But whatever. They could vigor this to draw a card, which I would probably be fine with. Oh, they're just going to vigor it. Interesting. I think I'm down to just counter it. I actually think that it's like, it doesn't matter, right? But it does prevent them from drawing a card. I think this is fine. There's like very few cards that are going to be Flusterstormable off of Ruby Taiga that I care about, right? If I draw a land, I can strip mine. Is what is my whole idea. If I can draw a land, then I can strip mine. Oh, you're just gonna use 2 Force of Vigors. Yeah, whatever, sure. You got it. All right, we drew a land, so I'm just gonna strip mine this Taiga, and now I still can return Reclamation back Lavinia, and Standstill next turn. They drew a Kulgan's command, so they took 3 damage. I think we're like very far ahead here. I don't think I care about that. I do care about that. And I'm just gonna force this. All right, so now, oh, that's pretty good too. Huh. I think I would rather Reclamation this turn. All right, they drew a Foothills. They can't cast K command, but they could cast Lightning Bolt. It's a really close game for how far ahead I thought we were. Well, the problem is Standstill isn't like win the game. Stop them. Like they can still cast spells into Standstill and then just resolve things. All right, so they have another land in their hand too. Oh, I don't think Standstill has been viable in a very long time. I don't think it's a pendulum at all. So I think they're supposed to probably attack here. Maybe not. It's kind of weird because I guess they can't attack here. But they do have like on a confidant clock here. Do we have a sanctuary in our deck? No. All right. Apparently we don't have a sanctuary in our deck. Noted. I don't want to trade into this because then it's just parity on the standstill. All right, they hit another Culligan's command, so now they're at 2. And we have a hard cast Mindbreak Trap here, which is real nice. And they can't cast Culligan's command because they will only have 2 lands. So they're going to attack, and I'm just going to let it happen. Because I'm out of bolt range currently. And if they don't play a creature, then they die. I guess they can play a Abrupt Decay. It's a pretty sick draw. They're at 1. All right, Abrupt Decay. This doesn't technically kill my thing if I want to save it in any number of ways. Which I probably do. I could save it. I could just Mindbreak Trap it. I probably just win if I Mindbreak Trap it. So... Quick, use the new Mindbreak Trap emote. Oh, I forgot to tell chat. We got new emotes. Five new animated emotes. And by new, I mean they're the same old emotes, but they're out now. They're animated. And they're actually kind of sweet. I kind of like it. All right. So we're playing against Jund Luris. I like that one. Jund Luris. Oh, I actually have some Swords to Plowshares, huh? Do we want Hydroblast just for Ren and 6? Like this, maybe? I don't actually think we want, like, negations and Mindbreak Trap, right? I don't know, chat. What do you guys think? I think I want all of these 5 cards. Maybe I don't actually want Lantern. Lantern's kind of unnecessary, right? I don't really need a Lantern. Maybe this Narset's kind of garbo. Like that, maybe? That kind of looks reasonable. I could definitely see Lantern being fine, by all means. Yeah, I'm down. Let's do this. Okay, that was really sweet game 1, to be perfectly honest. I feel like it was closer than it should have been, but... Alright, this is a trap. This hand is 100% a trap. I would not want to keep this hand. Wastelandable land, no real draw spells. I'm off it. Run it back. Much better. Look at that. We have a Timeless Dragon. What are they going to do about our Timeless Dragon? Nothing. The answer is nothing. How could you do anything about a Timeless Dragon? It's timeless. Yeah, I'm not really allowed to counter that. Yep. You got a Wooded Foothills. Yep. I mean, our Timeless Dragon's probably a Plains, but... Which does expose it to a Deathrite Shaman, if there was ever a Deathrite Shaman. Ooh, nice, Max. Hell yeah. The Mox monies. Alright. What do we got? Opponent says Ren in 6. That sounds horrible for me. I really don't want that happening in my life. Go away. You have any other land drop? Wasteland. All right. Well, the good news is I can go basic island, basic plains. Oh, wow. That's kind of interesting too, isn't it? We have a lot of choices here. I feel like that's not a 5-drop. It's a 4-drop. Come on now. I feel like holding open time cycling or plane cycling brainstorm is probably better than actually playing this Lavinia. It's a 2-drop fetch that comes back. That's so annoying. Because they're just going to eat my Timeless Dragon. God, that's annoying. I guess we're going to end up brainstorming. You're right. You can eternalize it from underneath a standstill to break parity. Yes, that is correct. If this Deathrite Shaman is not getting Swords to Plowshares, then... Ooh. Interesting. Interesting. All right, so we can decide later if we want this Supreme Verdict still. I guess we can decide if we want this Lavinia, actually. Two Wastelands. All right, put the Luris in hand. All right, I definitely want to keep this Supreme Verdict. I think drawing the Probe is... No. This is still July. In June, we might play some more competitive decks at our FNM. We'll see. I think I'm gonna just get a Plains. I only have one Plains, right? Okay. This kind of just gets wastelanded, but... Well. It's possible. It's possible that we play Modern on Mondays, yeah. I guess I could have held this, but I can just cycle the other dragon, too. They actually are a black source away from Luris, still. I guess I should have put a blue, maybe. Sure hope they don't play, like, Soul Guide Lantern here. That would be bad. All right, do you have... Oh, wow, a blue source. Please no Ancestral? Another Wasteland. Okay. All right, well, I think I'm going to get a dragon, then. Yeah, I'm aware I'm not allowed to keep Tundras. Ooh, look at the Timeless Dragon. All right. Ren and 6. That's problematic. Not super problematic, because I can kill it. But, it does give them Luris mana, so... Aha! Luris mana. Lol. I refuse to let you have Luris mana. Yeah, it looks nice. Okay. The 3 Wastelands is kind of annoying, because I only have 1 Plains. Or else I would have searched another Plains. Maybe I was supposed to play 2 Plains? It wasn't specified. I was unaware that was the case. So what does this converted mana cost, chat? Is it a... It's a token, right? So it's 0? It's not a copy. Yeah, it's a token, so I can get Abrupt Decayed. Oh, they drew a black source. Disgusting. Alright, well, we're gonna have to draw a fetch land, or we're gonna be probably in some trouble here. We vertic away the board, we're probably in great shape, though. Reclamation. Huh. That does technically get me a Tundra, but it won't actually help because they have a Wasteland in play. And then they're just gonna replay fucking Red and 6. And this is pretty bad for me. The triple Wasteland draw was a lot of Wastelands. It really all just came down to the fact that I didn't have a second Plains in my deck, huh? Was there a second Plains and I cut it? That's the question. Alright, so this Deathrite Shaman, unfortunately, can eat my Timeless Dragon or my Savine's Reclamation. They're just gonna get back a Ren and 6. If they're smart, they could always go Ren and 6 double Wasteland. They're just gonna eat the Wasteland from my yard to make red mana, I assume. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I had to grab non-basics because there were no more basics in my... Oh, they went for a fetch land. Okay, that's really good for us. So if my Timeless Dragon lives and kills Red and 6, then I can wipe the board and I'll be in great shape. Yeah, we have 2 copies. They'll probably just let this happen because they don't think that they're going to lose their Luris. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. I'm just going to verdict this board away, and we're going to be happy. Very happy. And we still have a Timeless Dragon and a Reclamation in our graveyard. So if we draw another land after we get Wastelanded. Okay, we are in a good spot now. That's definitely true. Though I guess they have Culligan's Command here. That's what's happening? But I have that covered as well, which is wild. They could wait till Culligan's Command when they're not going to get Flusterstormed, but it seems they're not into that. So no Luris for you. How many K commands are in this list? 2 K commands? Jeez. I don't think it makes sense for them to play around Flusterstorm. I think I wouldn't. All right. You don't need to do that now, but okay. F6 value. All right, so I can't flash back either of my 2 cards in the yard. Oh god, they have another Deathrite. That's not good. All right, fetch land, fetch land, fetch land, fetch land, fetch land, fetch land, fetch land. Suspend. Ew. All right, I don't think I want to suspend this right now. Even though, I mean, it does buy me another draw step to find a land and cast a Timeless Dragon or a Reclamation. Or draw Standstill. I think I have to hold on to this. It is unfortunate they drew a second Deathrite Shaman here, for sure. Because I'm going to lose... I mean, if I do still draw a fetch land, I can still get one of the 2. So, not the end of the world. Alright, they're going to eat the dragon. They are scared of the dragon, for sure. How do we kill our opponent now? 2/2s? Dig through time. Feel like we're going to get Pyroblasted, but... I don't know. I don't think we're holding on. They have 3 Pyroblasts in there. Oh, this resolves. Okay, so I like the idea of Standstill to Fairy. We can also do like Suspend into Standstill. I mean, these are our 2 most powerful cards. We have no way to break parity, right? I think I'm supposed to suspend this time. Oh, they had mental misstep. Awful. All right. Well, that's unfortunate, but we still have we got more stuff here. You draw another spell, that's good. That's not good. This might get K command to bring back Luris. Or just like Dark Confidant. Or Goyf. Or Ancestral. Maybe they just got Ancestral. No, they got K command bringing back Luris. And making me discard. Oh, Alright, well, I'm going to discard this Standstill. Certainly need a counterspell on Engineered Explosives. That's not the strongest against the Luris. I could technically deal with the Deathrite Shaman, but the Luris is a real problem because it's just going to get back Renin 6. Even if I were to EE the Moxen, it would do that. I'm gonna just... Can't do that. I think I'm just going to... I gotta play faster. I think I'm just going to bounce this Deathrite Shaman. Keep them off of... Oh, they have Pyro too? Jeesh. Oh, blue? Ancestral? Wait, so they Wait, I'm so confused. Oh, they're just getting rid of a land. Okay. Uh-huh. Alright, well, I didn't draw a way to stop Luris, so my opponent is gonna go Luris Ren, which is not good for the home team by any stretch of the imagination. They're just gonna bolt the Time Raveler? Why would they do that? Yeah, no, I don't think that's good. We would lose our Mox in that situation, and it's not actually stopping them from doing good things. So they're just gonna go Luris Deathrite Shaman. Fair. Yeah, we're definitely in trouble. This is too late. Well, I can actually... Okay, I can Reclamation. I can almost parity here. Because I can Reclamation to Fairy and Standstill, but I can only bounce one of their things. So I guess I have to get back Tundra. I don't think I will win because I don't have any way to break parity, right? I get Standstill. Maybe it's fine because it just buys me a lot of time. Honestly, I think I'm like really far behind, and if I chose to... I think it's fine. I might end up being the one who breaks the Standstill, but I don't think I'm upset about that. I mean, I am upset about that. I don't want that to happen, but I think I like just need to buy some like cards so I can, like, I don't know, counter Luris or something on the way down. I do need to play like 8 times faster though if we want to win a game 3. I mean, they're thinking about just breaking the standstill, which would be the best option for us. I mean, they're 7 turns away from killing us, and they just need to eat all of the spells. There should be 7 spells. Yep, there's 7 spells. So they don't ever have to break this standstill. But they might not want to give me, you know, the opportunity to keep drawing cards with them. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what happens. But if they do break the standstill, then at least I have a chance of drawing Force of Will for Luris. Or at least, like, negation for Ren and then swords for Luris. Luris? Alright, they've chosen not to break the standstill, which is acceptable. They might break it at the end step here. Maybe that would be... I mean, then I have full mana. That's probably bad. Yes, they know my deck list. It is open deck list tournament. I do not have any Shark Typhoons in my deck. Wait, did I put Shark Typhoon in my deck? I thought about it. No, I didn't end up doing it. I did think about putting Shark Typhoons in the deck. I at least had them in at one point when I was changing Matt's list. No. Both of my things that get through standstill are gone. Both of my dragons. So what I want to do is draw a Snapcaster Mage, and then like end step we can break it, and then do a bunch of things on our turn. I'm willing to take like a bunch of Deathrite Shaman activations here and just roll with the punches. I think this is favorable for us, like both players doing nothing, because I think we were getting out-tempoed so incredibly badly just by like the Luris doing Luris things. There are no sagas in this list. There's a bunch of wastelands instead. I think the prevailing idea is that if you play sagas and your opponent plays sagas, your sagas are going to be worse. You could totally put sagas in this deck, but I'm not convinced it is the best choice. I think I'm going to break standstill here. Well, let's see. One more turn and they're at 7 cards. I'll do one more turn. And then we'll put them up to 10 cards and we'll kill this Deathrite Shaman. And then we'll play like Teferi standstill or something. I don't know, something like that. All right. Let's put them to 10 cards. Swords your Deathrite Shaman. Draw 3, please. I mean, standstill bought us some infinite time. It's just, can we actually win this game? Probably not, because we don't have any Timeless Dragons. I feel like if we had Shark Typhoons in our deck, we would probably be able to win this game, but maybe I should just be going to game 3 instead of trying to play this out, but I'm kind of interested in watching it happen, so I'm gonna Wasteland a Taiga as well. Yeah. Oh yeah, we would have very easily won this game with second planes, but I don't have a second planes. I don't know if there was a second planes. Like I said, I don't know if there actually was a second planes, but I mean, they could just kill us with 2 bolts, yeah. There might have been a second planes in the list and I might have cut it, so maybe I should have hit this wasteland. I kind of want the standstill because I want to have a force. Like, I'm not going to, like, live. This Krakus is never going to live until the next turn, so. All right, I mean, we deployed a Lavinia and a standstill for whatever that's worth. We just have no life, so if they draw a Lightning Bolt, we die. And then we play game 3 with 4 minutes. It's going to be fun. All right, Goify Goif. Didn't actually draw a force. Yeah. I mean, we're currently going to beat those. Well, I needed to draw a force, and I did not draw a force, unfortunately. Because I actually can beat these glyphs pretty easily. I just, like, dress down and double block and kill them both. We just needed one force. Because if we just draw a force, we're in great shape. Not great shape, but we're in better shape. All right, let's go again. You can do exclamation mark event to get to the deck list. All right, chat. I'm probably going to be less interactive in this game because I have 4.5 minutes on my clock and my deck doesn't win. Nope. Well, actually, it's probably fine. I guess if I get wastelanded, it looks real. Well, no, I have Timeless Dragon. This hand's sick. What am I talking about? I guess I had a Pearl and a Lotus in my deck that were white sources. They have no basic in their deck? I forgot about that. Good job, Field of Ruin. Holy cow. I could have played a Timeless Dragon there. I should have played a Timeless Dragon there. Fuck. Now, if they draw another black source, they can eat my Timeless Dragon. I'm trying to play fast. I should have just... No, I kind of like wastelanding them. Maybe all I was supposed to do was suspend this Deathrite Shaman instead. That was probably correct. Oh, they didn't... they actually didn't hit a land drop. It's really good for me. Okay, yeah, we'll just kill that thing. I mean, maybe we'll just land death them and Timeless Dragon them out. Wow, okay. Field of Ruin, incredible. Incredible Field of Ruin. Brilliant. Amazing. I actually think it's better. No, I'm just gonna just deploy the stupid dragon. I think deploying the stupid dragon is better than stopping them from drawing Moxen, but I could be wrong. They're done. They've had enough. Dragon too good. Woo! That was sick. We started that game with Wasteland Plains, Plains Cycle, Field of Ruin. What? What? I was pretty impressed with Timeless Dragon. It was kind of nice. I'll take it. All right, chat. Here we are, round 2, Mythic Society Weekly. Unfortunately, we have been paired against the Master of Death, Hollowvine. Force of Lavinia is quite good in this matchup, but it's hard to get Lavinia down in time for it to be relevant. His hand has Ancestral and Lavinia, so I'm just going to keep it, and hopefully my opponent's hand is extremely bad, and we just deploy. Like, maybe we'll get beta Force of Will with Recall, and then slam Lavinia, and they just don't have creatures or something. So, yeah, I believe MTG Bot has some kind of back-end thing that watches results. I don't really know how it works, to be perfectly honest. All right, So my opponent did not give me any time to play Lavinia because they, in fact, used their land to put 6 free power into play on turn 1. Which is fantastic. Big fan. Would play Magic again. What we can do is on their upkeep, we can suspend the Vengevine and then untap and hope Lavinia resolves, which would work. Oh yeah, don't worry. 4 power of it is hasty. Yeah, I think that's my current plan. It's fair. It's totally a balanced deck that should definitely exist. So what this does is, if this resolves, then my opponent has to have one of their 4 Force of Wills, or they are in huge trouble. And if this gets countered, then we have, Ancestral, so. It also gives me 2 turns, I guess, because I did it on their turn. Master of Death, Cradle Powder. Strip my... Come on! I got my fetched around this. So fucking dumb. Oh, I need to draw another land now. I drew a Wasteland. But this means I have to deal with the Vengevine when it comes back. But I mean, I think it's still better to have to deal with the Vengevine than... this is so tilting. If it was just a Wasteland, I think we might win this game, to be perfectly honest. I think it's definitely possible if it was a Wasteland, we would be winning this game. Unfortunate. Yeah. I actively believe that if we could just have kept our island, we might be resolving Lavinia, in which case the Vengevine wouldn't be coming back, and I think we would be winning. That's so tilting. That's unbelievably tilting. All right, what do we got in our sideboard? We've got a Soul Guide Lantern. We've got some cages. Cages aren't even that good against our opponent. They're only good against Vengevine. I don't even know how many cages we actually want to bring in. Definitely want to bring in Swords to Plowshares, though. I mean, I guess we're going to have plenty of sideboard slots to bring in. I mean, it's not really a great standstill matchup, but I think forces are just complete garbage. I really hate having forces in this matchup, so. I mean, our deck does play 3 Lavinia, 3 Teferi, which are, like, technically good cards against Hollowvine. The problem with them being technically good is you're just unable to cast them before they kill you. But I think we almost came ahead in that game. I really do. I really do feel like we almost came ahead. I do think that if we resolved Lavinia, my opponent has no way to kill Lavinia in the main and no way to kill Lavinia in the board. So a resolved Lavinia turns off most of my opponent's deck. That was like definitely one of the best hands we could have kept in the matchup. So I guess not the best. We could have mulliganed to a Wasteland, but mulliganing to a Wasteland loses to 6 power on turn 1. I don't think it's unreasonable to want to keep 2 basics, ancestral Lavinia. I do think that, like, there are definitely I would probably have mulliganed most things that didn't have a wasteland besides the hand we kept. I think it was definitely within range of being a keepable hand. Here we want to find, like, Surgical Extraction Wasteland. Wasteland Cage. Yeah, I'm gonna keep a Wasteland hand. And I'm just gonna go Island Cage. Now, Cage is not great, but at least it stops Vengevines. They might counter it, they might Vigor it, so it's not the end of the world. And then next turn we can just Wasteland. And then we can get up to Dragon, play a 5/5, maybe. That's the plan. I feel like my opponent won't bring in Fury because it doesn't actually kill Lavinia. So there's probably no problem with... Like, our Dragon should just live forever. Alright, my opponent kept a 6-card hand after keeping a, what, 7-card hand last game? I have a Cage. How do you feel? It's not even that good versus our opponent. It's only good against Vengevine. But that does deal with some of their things, which is nice. Let's see what they've got in the yard and how many hollow ones we have to beat. 2 Root Wallas and a Squee. They can obviously play the Root Wallas because this doesn't stop that. But the Root Wallas are only 1/1s and they're not the green one, so it's not too bad. Alright, so I have that. I don't have a Fluster to protect against Revival. Let's see if they just have 2 Bazaars, I guess. Okay, Gaia's Cradle. So now they can cast spells through Lavinia sometimes. Like Noxious Revivals through Lavinia. Another Cage. So I'm not going to play a second Cage because it doesn't actually do anything against Force of Vigor. What I'm going to do is just cycle my Timeless Dragon and get a basic Plains. This looks like my opponent has something here. Oh. Well, I don't have... I mean, this might have been a Force. But I don't have a Force, so... I really can't do anything about this happening, can I? How much I can do. This deck, you just, like, actually can't play against. It's either the deck beats itself or you die. It is what it is. Oh, 3 Squeeze. Fantastic. And this is why Grafdigger's Cage isn't actually considered hate versus our opponent's deck. Because it doesn't stop this, and it doesn't stop this. But I assume the Grafdigger's Cages are not actually for this matchup. The Surgical Extractions are for this matchup, so... But they're probably still fine. Oh, now we draw the Flusterstorm. That's so sickening. I can't even flashback spells with my Snapcaster Mages through my Grafdigger's Cage, which is also hilarious. Yeah, so my opponent's going to draw 2 extra cards every turn, and we're going to lose. If we had drawn this Fluster in the other order, where we flustered this Revival, and they basically can't counter a Flusterstorm, I think we would be in a winning position. But because we drew another dead Cage, maybe this should be a Force. Maybe it should just be a Force. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Ooh, my opponent has 10 cards in hand. Fantastic. Oh! Wonderful. I'm glad that I've played around Wasteland. God, this is like... How does anyone play against this deck and not tilt off the face of the earth? I just don't get they don't get to play Magic. Why no Snap Chumps? Oh, fuck off. It's not fine. It's actively not fine. It's actively not fine. I'm done. I don't want to play against this anymore. Yeah, I don't know. You have to make it to 3 mana to cast Soul Breacher, so I don't really buy that code. Oh well. All right, chat. Here we are, round 3 now. We've got a nice bug deck to play against. We got some Deathray Shamans, Endurance, Tarmogoyf, Oko, Leovold. It'll be a battle, but it at least isn't Hollowvine or Doomsday. Let's do it. You gotta risk this for the biscuit, right? Risk it for the biscuit. Probe into a blue source. Play a turn 1 standstill. I feel like the biscuits have to be risked. Or wait. The biscuits need to be risked for? I want biscuits. That's what I'm trying to say. Unlucky. My opponent has Lotus Jet, Land, Ponder, Walk, Shaman. Which sounds very bad for me. Sounds very hard for me to beat. What do we do now? We gotta draw blue source. We had to risk it. We didn't find the biscuit. So now we just need to wait until the biscuit comes off the top of the library, I guess. I'm over this saying. I'm done. No more. Pretty sure I'm forcing this, which will keep my standstill alive. And they're just probably going to go Lotus Walk, I would assume. No, they're not going to go Lotus Walk. Okay. I need blue source. I did not draw blue source. Unlucky. Oh, my opponent drew another one. That's, yeah, probably not good for me. Alright, I think we died. I mean, I guess we can still draw Island and cast Ancestral, right? It's not all over yet. Alright, now we don't know what's in our hand, opponent's hand. Yeah, I don't think I can counter another Deathray Shaman. Pretty sure that one has to resolve. Ah, so close. So close. No, no. Why do we just always play against Strip Mine? All right, well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I would keep that one, Asphalt. It's too high. It's so much upside in our deck that has so little upside, you know? I feel like it's worth. This is pretty brutal, though. Green, oh, Endurance. Yeah, I probably don't want this to resolve. I don't think we're ever resolving a standstill in this game, so... No, we're on Wednesday night. We don't play decks with more upside. That's illegal! Uncounterable. They're one of Abrupt Decay. Fantastic. Fantastic. Unfortunate. Timeless Dragon has been great tonight. I don't know what you got. I don't know what you're going on about. I cycled and got 2 planes against multiple wastelands and then brought it back from my yard. It was fantastic. Fuck off with that. Get that out of my house. Probably should have gotten rid of this Flusterstorm and not the Suspend, but I wasn't really thinking about it. Oh, they have a wasteland too. Alright, I mean, we're dying slowly. And if we draw an island, which we did, we can cast Ancestral and resolve it, which we do. But what next? A wasteland. Unfortunate. Rip the island. All right, now though, if we draw another, oh fuck off. All right, you got me. It was close. Both teams fought hard. Feel like if we had drawn an island at any point in the first like the first couple draws, and they had no counter, we're probably winning that game. Yeah, I mean, I'm playing a deck with 4 basics, which is supposed to be really good against Wasteland, but I keep getting strip mined, so not ideal to say the least. All right, this matchup we want swords, EE. EE's probably fine. And then I don't really like negation trap very much. Yeah, probably works for me. They are bringing in 2 Sylvan libraries. But I have an EE that I boarded in, which is probably better than a negation anyways. Yeah, I agree. Restrict strip mine. Just happens too often, you know? It's just a big feel bad moment. Happens way too often. I could dress down in response to a evoked. No, it doesn't actually do anything. That's just gonna make the Tarmogoyf 0/1s, right? That's all it does. Whatever, it's fine. All right, that was unfortunate, but we did do the risking it, and we just did not acquire the bisking it. Okay, so I can go Caracas, Lotus, Blue, Lavinia, Plains Cycle for a Tundra. Okay. Lotus Field. I mean, Field of Ruin was an all-star in our last game, so I'm excited. This time my opponent does have a forest in their deck though, which makes things a little more problematic. I guess I probably should not have played Caracas before Lotus because it makes the Lotus more of a counterable target, more of a target that people would counter. Lavinia and Plains Cycle. Tundra. All right, here you go, opponent. I've got Deathrite covered. I've got non-basic covered. We're ready to go. If they get their basic, then I can Field of Ruin them. Not right now, but eventually. Nope, that's illegal. I think I would rather just Wasteland. Maybe I'm supposed to wait till a green source goes down, but I think I would rather Wasteland there. Another Deathrite Shaman. Say it ain't so. No, seriously though. Say it ain't so. Like, don't actually play another Deathrite Shaman. Please. How many pushes? Any pushes? Pushes? No pushes. So what can they have? Ponder? Preordain? Wait, there are no Preordains in this deck? What's in this deck? Just a bunch of Endurances. So the only thing they can really have here is Ponder, Ancestral, Mox, or Deathrite. They have Ancestral? Oh, they have Probe for... Probe. Yes, he resolves. Would Dragon be better if it had... What do you mean? If it just had Plane Cycling? I don't understand what are you trying to say? I really was hoping for a Mox in there, but... Oh, if it had normal cycling? I think it actually is worse if it had normal cycling. Oh, you're trying to be funny. I have no sense of humor. Oh, they missed the land drop. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. Oh, what do I want to do, though? What is our play? I think our play is Narset. This means they can't draw Ancestral Ponder. No, we're not fielding them. We're definitely not fielding them. They have a forest in their deck. Doesn't actually stop them from like doing anything besides Ancestral Ponder, which Narset stops them from doing. All right, we got a game. We got one back. All right, let's run it back. Timeless Dragon is like actively one of the better standstill things that I've seen, to be honest. I think that I highly value land cycling, so this is the kind of hand where I'm gonna keep it and get wastelanded and lose, but I don't think I'm gonna pass up both of my sideboard Swords to Plowshares. I really wish you wouldn't. Alright, well. I think I need to keep the upside of if this counter resolves, I can probe. Because I need to draw lands through this wasteland. Fuck off! Alright, well. Their mulligan was Force Narset, Lotus Wasteland. Oh wait, did they mulligan? Oh, they didn't mulligan. That's 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's just 7 cards. Okay. Yeah, well, I think we lose. Ah, that was a good draw. Yeah, this is real bad for me. Two Flusterstorm. Oh, they missed their land drop. Okay. All right, the game is on. Though Standstill is pretty bad against Narset. I don't think I'm supposed to play this Tundra. Maybe I'll cast this Probe. Maybe I'll cast this Probe and see if I can play Tundra out. No, the problem is I need to get to 3 mana to care. I kind of need this in case I draw Force of Will, but I only have 3 Force of Wills in my deck. I know 2 of the cards. Alright, so I'm going to play it then. My opponent doesn't have a Wasteland in their hand, and I would like to try to build up to Reclamation. Okay, well, we're not going anywhere. Unfortunately, I can't play the Standstill either. It'd be really nice if I could play the Standstill off a land. They hit their land, and they have a Deathrite Shaman, which is fine. They're going to Ponder. All right, I'm going to Fluster your Ponder. Not ideal. Oh, they hit land, Deathrite. It's really, really bad for me. Now I can't even Fluster the Demonic Tutor anymore. Yeah, because I'm going to Swords this. It's going to get flustered, and then I'm going to Swords it again. And then I'm going to get Demonic Ancestral and lose. Unless I draw Lotus Narset, I guess. They drew Mental Misstep? Bruh. 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 Well, this game's over. I've done a lot of not being able to play my spells, huh? Alright, so the new plan is they get Ancestral, they don't cast it. End step, I swords, it gets flustered, and then I draw Lotus and Narset. Never mind. Never mind. I mean, I guess I still could do that, technically. But now they're just probably gonna... Yeah, they probably fluster this still. Yeah, alright, so I need to draw Lotus Narset to stop the Ancestral. Lotus, survey says... Oh. Needed you a little while back, friend. Yeah. Narset's a lame card. I didn't even draw any preordains. Yeah, I mean, they could have tutored Wasteland, but I think... Probably not. Maybe they tutor Wasteland. Doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't really matter, because we can't play Magic. Another unfortunate one. I still am, like, okay with my keep. It just lined up very, very, very poorly against Wasteland, Lotus, Narset, Forcible backup. Which, I think actually probably most of my hands would do that. But I mean, I'm playing 4 basic island, or 4 basic lands. So if I had drawn a fetch land, I can fetch a basic. You know? For a deck that has 4 basics in it, we sure have gotten Wastelanded out of the game a lot. Alright, chat, here we are. 4th and final round tonight for the Vintage Weekly for the Mythic Society. We're playing against Marlon. Marlon always comes up with some sweet brews. Tonight, we've got 4 Subtlety, 4 Murktide Region, 4 Delver of Secrets. There's a Ratchet Bomb in the main. There's Vapor Snags, Thought Scours, and a bunch of blue cards. We're on Wastelands, Mystic Sanctuary, and a bunch of islands. Interesting deck. Let's try. Battle. Yeah. Yeah. No? I might actually go Island Lotus Pass, Hold Open Trap, and then go Land Standstill. Is that weird to want to do that? What does Subtlety read? Yeah, I mean, I can just go Lotus Standstill, I guess. I'm gonna keep this, though. Let's look at the mulligan. Am I crazy to want to do that? Or, oh, they already mulled to 5? Maybe Standstill's not even good. My opponent is a lot of mulliganing here. The problem is, like, we don't have currently any engine to really use with this Standstill, so we're not getting an extreme amount of value for it. I do think that I want to hold this Lotus, possibly. Like, if I can play Standstill off of Strip Mine Island and not have to use this Lotus, I think it will be really important. Because what it will let me do is be able to play a Timeless Dragon. Alright, well. Chat, today is just the Strip Mine stream. Everybody's got a Strip Mine tonight. Oh my gosh, stop. Alright, so I guess it is Standstill time. I don't know why I tapped like that. I probably should just use 3 of the floating islands. Floating blue mana. If they force this, I guess we don't have very much going on for us, do we? At least we can reset the Delver of Secrets with Suspend. Got him. Hey, I'm just living in a wasteland world, alright? Alright, so we actually got 2 cards for our Standstill Lotus, so we went even. My opponent has 3 cards, I have 4 cards, none of us have lands. If they fetch a basic, we get them. Alright, Wasteland's out. Not that we can actually Wasteland like any of their lands. They have their mana base is 6 islands. We should probably take out some Wastelands. Man. Oh no! I needed that. So Plane Cycle. I sure hope I don't get Wastelanded here. That would be bad, because I just need to put it in play to Plane Cycle. Yes! Plane Cycle has arrived. This is broken. Look how broken this is. I'm gonna fetch a basic island and Plane Cycle for a basic planes. Broken. Though I will still need to draw another white source. Yeah. Oh, I actually could have wastelanded that. That is the one land in their deck that I can actually wasteland profitably. All right, I'm gonna just cast this dress down to see if we draw another land. And then I'm gonna strip mine that, I think. Yeah. I didn't want to strip mine their one thing that was wastelandable, but no, they found Basic Island. All right. I think we're kind of not in a great spot, to be perfectly honest. What do you got for us? Brainstorm? That's bold, isn't it? I'll let the Brainstorm resolve. I guess if they find Fetch, they get to get some value. I feel like it's a little bold, at the very least. Yeah, Dress Down is mostly for, you know, Urza's Saga and stuff like that. Tarmogoyf. But mostly for Urza's Saga. Okay, I've got not much happening here. We have had a problem with lands, haven't we, chat? Though we haven't cast very many Preordains tonight, which probably does not help us very much. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna misstep this Preordain, because I believe I would like to misstep a Delver. Or an Ancestral. One top, one bottom. Interesting. So they didn't actually use their Brainstorm very well. I'm just gonna put this Ambush Viper in play. They want to do something about my Ambush Viper, by all means, fire away. The problem is it's like so hard for them to ever print a Graveyard Hate that will be good enough now. It's just like too much. We've drawn not what we want to draw, huh? I'm not gonna say we ran very well tonight because we didn't. But I'm sure I could have made improvements in mulliganing. Is this Thought Scour targeting yourself? Okay, yep. These. Oh, I guess you can hard cast this subtlety, huh? Okay, all right. Wasteland, haha. We played around you. Got him. I guess we can reset Murktide Regions with Suspend as well. Not exactly a full reset, but we'll make it turn into a 3/3, I guess. All right, well, at least this isn't Flusterstormable, which is nice. If they have a force, they have a force. So be it. Nope, don't have a land for that. This is really good against their deck. Teferi might be the best card in our deck versus them. It's so good against all of their threats. It's incredible, actually. And they can't really remove it from the battlefield either. Second Murktide Regent. Okay. Yep. All right, I'm gonna suspend your Murktide Regent. Go away for a little while. You can come back later. Mental misstep. Mental misstep. I want them to force. I'd love to get a Mind Break Trap there. Wasteland, perfect draw. Unbelievable draw. If this resolves, this game over. No. All right, I guess I can just put it back on top. I think that this deck is just gonna murder. Like Teferi is just gonna murder this deck, right? No, I don't want to put it back on top because they have a Wasteland, right? Ah, all right. I guess I'm gonna put it on the bottom. That's kind of unfortunate. My list has 4 basics. Their list has 6. I think I might have been supposed to put a second Plains in my deck, but all right, the Murktide, yeah. So they Wastelanded me, so it makes my decision correct. They have a Murktide Regent coming back in 1 turn, and they top decked Ancestral. All right, well, fair. I thought we were gonna win that game, and then our Teferi got subtletied, and everything went to shit. Maybe I was supposed to let the Murktide resolve. The first Murktide resolve. I mean, I didn't have a Teferi at that point, though. I don't know. I'm definitely trapping anything you cast here, so. Yeah, even that. Suck it. You're not allowed to know my hand. All right. Okay, that gets us closer to a Timeless Dragon. But they do have a 3/3 Murktide Regent coming down next turn. I can suspend it again, though. You know, if push comes to shove, we could put it back on suspend. Yeah, would you like to cast Murktide Regent? You bet your ass you would. All right, you attacking? No, another Wasteland? That's the 4th Wasteland. No, the 3rd Wasteland, 4th Wasteland effect this game. This stream has just been a masterclass in showing everyone how dumb the Wasteland is in this format right now. Just beautiful. Fantastic. Just incredible. I can suspend Snapcaster, but what do you want me to cast? Brainstorm? They held it back. Okay, if they're gonna hold it back, then yeah, I'll suspend Snapcaster. I'm in. We can always flashback suspend, you know? Oh no! No! No, what is this? Stop. I'm already dead. No, all you need is Wastelands and Bazaars. Come on now. Get over this. Del, alright, you got me, homie. You got me, homie. Unfun. I just want to cast my spells, but it's been very hard. Alright, so we're gonna bring in some Swords to Plowshares and a Dovin's Veto. Do we need a Dovin's Veto? Yeah, maybe we actually don't want a Dovin's Veto. I think just Swords to Plowshares, actually. And I don't think these negations are very good. Well, Dress Down's kind of bad, so we can bring a Dovin's Veto in. It's like a negation, but it's uncounterable. I guess we could bring in Soul Guide Lantern, but I'm kind of off it. You can cast spells into standstill at any time. That is something you're legally allowed to do, not me. I am it's not legal for me to cast any spells because I don't have any mana because my opponent had 4 wastelands. Oh, wait. I'm not going to cast Ancestral on my opponent's upkeep here because I have a Flusterstorm. I don't want to like lose to Mental Misstep for no reason. Well, I mean, what's there to talk about? I got Ancestral. I got blue cards. Living the life. I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna play like a good control mage. Oh, I was supposed to board out Wastelands, wasn't I? I guess they helped me cast my spells, maybe. I don't know. Alright, so now, if my opponent goes for a Delver, I can respond by casting Ancestral. And then I can Force, and then I can Fluster. Alright, my opponent's not going to do either of that. Any of that. So we wait. I am the control player. Can waste their wastes. Got them. Defensive Wasteland. The next level of Wasteland. Do I have Preordains in my deck? I'm not really sure anymore, to be perfectly honest. Maybe there aren't any Preordains. No, there are no Preordains. All right. Everything makes sense now. I was like trying to figure out why I wasn't drawing Preordains in the other games, and I'm like, oh, right, because we're playing Standstill, so we don't play Preordain. Just good deck building. Yeah, I could have one a stack, but what does that really get me? I don't think we're winning this game unless we're doubling up on like Ancestral plus Force plus Fluster on one turn. Do you think we are? I'm playing nah, man. This is how Chubby would play. You know this is how Chubby would play. You don't cast it. And it's, can we not draw Strip Mine for my basic island one fucking time? This night has been so tilting. I just incredible. All right. We got Murktide Regent. It's our time, chat. Is it our time? Wait, is it our time? How do we play this? If it was a spell, it'd be easier, but it's not. If it was an instant or sorcery, it'd be easier. How do I want to play this? Just Ancestral now? Start with Force. I guess I don't care about this thing, really. So there's like kind of nothing. Is there any reason to play with this on the stack? As opposed to at end of turn? Yeah, because I have... We know our opponent's deck list, chat. There's a reason I'm playing the way I am playing. Come on now. I guess now... This kind of puts us in like somewhat awkward situation. Oh, sure hope we don't lose this stack. Watch them have like force plus fluster here. Holy shit. That'd be so tilt. Oh, I probably was supposed to get a Tundra. Well, if they have a fluster here, we actually have the wasteland, so we're fine, right? We can just pay, or they can just counter like all the things, but it's okay because I have the extra mana. But they could always just fluster the ancestral, and at the end of the day, they have a misdirect. They have a Murktide Regent, and we have a Treasure Cruise and later a Sword, so I guess it works out. Bust your tooth. My opponent actually is playing 0 days in their mono blue. No, they have 1 days in their mono blue Delver deck, which is interesting. Yeah, I mean, Fluster Days would be really good for sure. Looks like they have Fluster. I don't know if Marlon's gonna be able to pull this off. Oh no, never mind. They're just putting it. They're just targeting the ancestral, so everything's fine. Yeah, all right. All right, so my opponent's down to 1 card, and we're gonna refill with this Treasure Cruise. Murktide has been very good in Vintage because the main Pyroblast deck has been forced out of the format because it doesn't play Wastelands. So there's like very little Pyroblast in Vintage right now. So it actually ends up being the case that Murktide's actually pretty good. Oh, I actually think I want to keep this Ancestral in my yard. Maybe that means that I have to... Alright, never mind. Alright, well... I unfortunately drew some lands. 4 basic island... I have 4 basics in my deck, Rodney, and I've been mana screwed so many times this tournament. And my opponent has 6 basic islands, so maybe that's the key. Wow, I do not want to draw any more lands, please. Why? I mean, I knew my opponent didn't have a counter spell. Why the hell would I not Swords there? Why would you not Swords there? Murktide region? No. 7. Yeah, I guess that is. Can I... Should I just, like, search all my lands up? Like... Fuck. Now I have found my lands, so... We're just gonna die. No, Fetch the Thin is so bad. I have a Brainstorm in my deck, so I'm keeping 1 land in my hand. I guess I could fetch once, but I don't know. Guess it doesn't change very much. And get the basic planes, I guess. Yes! You love to see it. I'm sure it'll get mental misstep. I fucking can't, man. I can't, man. Yeah, we exiled our verdict. I fucking can't, man. I know this plays into the second negation, but I'm just gonna suspend in their upkeep so that it lasts longer. I mean, yeah, I draw. They're forced to cast it and I draw, but it's just like, come on. There's just two negations in the deck. I just keep calling the worst possible thing that can possibly happen, and it's just too much, man. It's too much. Too much. Snap Ancestral? That's a great draw. Yeah. All right, chat. I'm sorry. I did my best, but my best was not good enough. To be fair to Matt Murray, I suck at playing this kind of deck. But also, to be fair to myself, I think we ran so abysmal tonight. I really do feel like we ran so badly. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong at every moment. Wait, okay. What are our takeaways? Timeless Dragon in a standstill shell. Theoretically, not bad. It cycled. Got us lands while we were getting wastelanded. Very nice. Eternalized and won us a couple games against Jund. Very nice. Suspend. Seems like it's too difficult to pull off. There was not enough times where I had Suspend and a resolved Lavinia or Teferi. To be fair, I didn't resolve very many Teferis or Lavinias at all tonight. I guess I just didn't really draw them, or when I did resolve them, they were answerable. Reclamation is always a good time. When we did Reclamation, it was nice. Overall, I kind of feel like this is not a very good deck, mostly just because it doesn't really do something extremely powerful. It does like play Wasteland, so that meets the minimum bar of a deck that you can play. But the problem is the things that we're doing inside the deck just are not very strong. Like you have to draw the right cards in the right order at the right time for the thing to happen and work. And we obviously were unable to demonstrate that skill tonight at any point. We never drew the right cards to do the thing or ever, all that kind of stuff. So it's a cool deck, but I will definitely never play it again. It was fun though. I did have fun the one 50-minute match against John at the start of the stream. That was fun, and we bait anyone who made it to the end of this YouTube video after being baited by the beautiful round 1 we played. I'm sorry. Nothing after matters. But if you did make it all the way, make sure you comment in the YouTube video down below that you made it all the way to the end. The keyword is fuck, I'm not an entertainer, clearly. Timeless. Write timeless in the comments if you made it all the way to the end of this video. Thank you. See you next time.